Donk produced another Play of the Year contender. Wonderful wants CS:GO back. Rain will become a captain, and the Blast Rivals recap. Hello there, friends. I'm back, and this is CS2 News Hub. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. Alright, we shall kick off today's video with a topic we've already touched before: Rain and 100 Thieves. Turns out all the rumors were true. Rain officially became the first player of the new 100 Thieves roster. But the real plot twist is that we're about to see the Norwegian legend in a completely different role. New role. Yeah, he will become the IGL. Very soon, 4 lucky teammates will be playing under the leadership of one of the most experienced players in Counter-Strike history. Earlier, there were rumors that the rest of the lineup might be the Gamer Legion core trio plus their coach, and maybe one another player, but none of this has been confirmed yet, especially considering Gamer Legion are literally about to play at the major. And then suddenly fans started panicking that the transfer might fall through entirely, and instead of young talents from Europe and a strong coach, 100 Thieves could end up signing the ex-Wildcard roster, who recently lost their org. This theory came from the fact that m0NESY, the new head of CS operations at 100 Thieves, spent years as a manager at Complexity and has a soft spot for North American players. But m0NESY quickly shut that down. He said there probably won't be American players on the roster at all, and his love for North American talents at Complexity was purely tied to org policy and their mission to revive the North American scene. So for now, friends, don't panic. The future of 100 Thieves in CS2 actually looks pretty stable, I guess. And the ones who definitely got the short end of the stick here were the wildcard players. Remember that hilarious and terrifying story about their manager using ChatGPT during roster shuffles? Yeah, turns out it wasn't just a meme, it was 100% real. The manager actually did use AI, but only to figure out what role their potential new player was supposed to play. And, you know, obviously that's where everything went downhill. So, according to ChatGPT, Peeping, the guy they were planning to sign, was supposedly an anchor player, but in reality he played a completely different role. So when Peeping finally joined the team, nobody even bothered to ask him whether he was actually an anchor, and as a result he simply couldn't perform properly. The guy was thrown into the wrong role from day one, he couldn't adapt and was set up to fail before he even started. Thankfully for everyone involved, Wildcard have already lost 4 players, and FURIA might be the next guy to leave. So maybe, just maybe, no one else will have to suffer from management decisions made by a literal AI, and this whole story is just crazy, you know? Hey guys, before we jump to the next news, let me just take a minute to tell you about our friends at ForceDrop. They're one of the oldest and most trusted case opening websites out there. These guys have been in the game for over 9 years. Whether you're into free cases, super cheap ones, or rare and risky drops, they've got it all. There are also tons of game modes to check out, battles, contracts, and my personal favorite, Upgrade, where you can turn a basic skin into a knife. They also run constant giveaways for those who deposit, with some seriously juicy prizes up for grabs. Plenty of deposit options too, including crypto. And if you use crypto, you will get an extra 3% bonus. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive promo code for you, News Hub. Enter it on the site or just click the link in the pinned comment, and you will get a 40% bonus to your deposit, top-tier drops, and instant cash outs. That's what ForceDrop is about. Check it out and see for yourself. Speaking of roster moves, we have to talk about Virtus.pro. In the previous episode, we already told you that their coach left the club of his own will, and now another twist. Norbert has been bought out from the bench. He's officially joining Hotu, the same team he played for as a stand-in when they suddenly went on a glorious run, I should say, beating Bait, Ants, the Mongols, and even FURIA. Now David becomes a full-time member of the roster, and he's already preparing for upcoming matches. As he himself said, to climb up to the top, you sometimes have to take a few steps back first. Amen, brother. Norbert also thanked Hotu for believing in him him and for actually negotiating the buyout, instead of leaving him there on the bench indefinitely. VP CEO also left a pretty wholesome message. He thanked David for everything he did for the team and said that Norbert is one of the most honest and decent people in the entire CIS community. You know, guys, a rare moment of pure positivity in CS. You love to see it. Now, pro scene drama is great and all, but let's take a quick detour into the holy temple of blue-collar CS enjoyers, the skin market guys. So this dude named Megalodon888 crafted what might actually be the most insane thing in history of CS. It's an M4A4 Howl with 6 Kato 14 stickers. And not just random, it's all IBuyPower Holos. If that doesn't make your wallet hurt, nothing will. And you know, the only reason this monstrosity is even possible is because of the new sticker charm mechanic. Thanks to it, he could fuse all 6 stickers onto a single weapon and basically create the equivalent of a luxury masterpiece in CS2. Right now, the estimated price of this M4A4 Howl is around $640,000. But here's the funniest part. Those 6 stickers separately are still worth more than the entire gun. So yeah, friends, this craft isn't about investing, about profits or ROI. It's purely about aesthetics, about flexing, about art and masterpieces. Something you make when money becomes an abstract concept and your bank account starts speaking in whale noises. I guess we will never understand. And now, since we're talking about stickers, here's a few fun details you might have missed. On his sticker, Blitz added the number 6, because that's exactly how many majors he's attended so far. Flexing through design, that's cool. Rain, in what's basically his farewell sticker for FaZe Clan, drew a sad little smiley face. New MIBR sniper Clem made a reference to G2 Academy coach Letney, dropping his nickname into the autograph. Gravity decided to honor his former team Gen 1, sneaking an Easter egg into the design. His teammate Exercise drew a tiny Eiffel Tower, Tribian. Summer referenced his old nickname, Fancy Summer, true nostalgia enjoyer. AlexCB wrote his name backwards just to entertain his Brazilian fans. And honestly, it worked. Molodoi also thought of the Brazilian crowd, and he added the phrase "or not" in Portuguese, a meme from FURIA fans. K-Serrato kept it classy and simply wrote out his full initials, clean and serious. And the cutest one is, as always, Major, who put his 2 kids on the sticker. But the real losers of the sticker season are Imperial, and here's what happened. The team recently got bought out or simply sponsored by a casino website, so their logo changed. Valve initially missed this and shipped the new logo, basically the logo of the casino. But the very next day they dropped a patch and reverted back to the old Imperial logo. Obviously, the team wasn't amused. The guys posted a clown emoji about Valve's oops, but instead of support they got blasted by the community. Sometimes the internet chooses violence, and this was one of those times. Speaking of negativity, Wonderful isn't happy either. The Navi sniper directly said that the new version of the game, CS2, doesn't appeal to him at all and brings him a lot of negative emotions. According to him, CSGO was simply better. All CSGO needed was a 128-tick update and the removal of Peeker's advantage, and boom, we'd have an actually overpowered version of the game. He added that CS2 has way more issues, way more bugs, and overall causes way more frustration than the old version ever did. Poor Wonderful. He just can't move on. Now, finally, friends, let's move on to the Blast Rivals playoffs. Things got wild real fast. The first matchup was Passion UA versus Pain, and honestly, nobody expected any surprises here. Pain just swept them aside. First map Nuke 13-4, second Inferno 13-7. It was all about the Brazilian captain Biguzera, who dropped 1.36, while the only Passion UA player to even touch 1-0 was grim. But if the first quarterfinal was a speedrun, the second one was the exact opposite. Vitality versus Spirit, and this one actually delivered. It all kicked off on Dust 2, and the pistol round already went terrible for Spirit. Donk accidentally killed his own teammate. Vitality quickly jumped to a 5-1 lead, but Spirit eventually woke up, chained 5 rounds in a row, and closed the half 6-6. In the second half, Spirit won 4 rounds straight. Then they started trading blows with Vitality. At 11-10, Vitality managed to lose the most important round of the game, and Spirit sealed the deal 13-11. Map 1 went for the Dragons, but Map 2 was Nuke, Vitality's favorite. Although Spirit started 5-0 and then Vitality stabilized. Flames wins a 1v3 clutch. Vitality brought it back to 6-6. And next, in the pistol round, Chopper takes a 1v2 clutch like it's nothing. Then we get more back and forth rounds until Donk finds himself 1v5 with a Galil, and then he decides to win the clutch of the year. AI predictors gave him less than 1% to win the round, but he still did it. Of course he did. It's Donk. Magix immediately said Donk deserves a second Highlight of the Year award, and Flamus together with Adren agreed, like everyone else. Here's a fun fact. Donk now has 2, Simple has 1, and Zaivu has 3. But even with that god-tier moment, Spirit still couldn't close the map, and Vitality took it to overtimes, when they eventually won the map. So it was all about the decider, Mirage. Here, Vitality jumped to a 6-1 lead. Spirit tried to claw back, but the half still went to Zaivu's squad. Second half, both teams kept trading streaks and pushed it to overtimes again. And once more, Vitality showed the stronger nerves. 16-13, Spirit were eliminated from the tournament. Post-match, Flamesy summed it up harshly. Both teams are in terrible form, but Spirit are clearly worse. Former Astralis coach Trace doubled down. He said Vitality looked stronger simply because they're at least consistently in top 4, while Spirit haven't reached a final in 4 straight tournaments since Zontex left. Shiro admitted he played terribly on the decider. Tnir joked that he played the match without a mouse and a keyboard. Yeah, it was a rough day for Team Spirit. But anyways, let's move on, because we have the semifinals, FURIA vs Pain and Falcons vs Vitality. The first match, FURIA vs Pain, the Brazilian derby, it was simply a demolition. FURIA won 13-3 on Nuke and 16-12 on Overpass. Kcerato casually dropped a 2.10 rating. Just Kcerato things, you know. There's actually nothing to tell you about it. Although in the second semifinals, we had pure cinema. Vitality versus Falcons. Inferno starts tight. Vitality lead the first half, but at 11-9, m0NESY goes nuclear. He wins a 1v3 clutch to finish the round with an ace. Then Falcons pushed it into OTs and won 16-13. The curse of Inferno was beaten. On Nuke, Falcons took the early 6-1 lead. Vitality came back, they finished the half 7-5, and it was all okay. But then suddenly the bees just collapsed completely. They took only 2 rounds in the second half. It looked like they were just out of the server, and, you know, they were out. After the match, Robs admitted Falcons were simply the better team, while m0NESY thanked his IGL Kixen for clean Inferno calls, which basically won them map 1. Meanwhile, Furia's Yekindar said he preferred playing the finals against Falcons instead of facing Vitality for the 3rd time in a row. Well, guess what? He got exactly what he wished for, but, you know, you have to be careful with your wishes. So in the grand finals, it was the Brazilian Dream Team Furia versus an international super team, Falcons. Both teams went through a hell of a marathon, knocking out big names left and right, and here they are, face to face. faze. Before this matchup, Falcons had beaten FURIA only once in their entire history, while the Brazilians had 4 wins over Falcons. But this time, both teams came into the server in completely different forms, so the past didn't matter anymore. We start with Inferno, and honestly, it was a one-way banana street. Falcons simply didn't feel FURIA at all. At one point, the score was 9-1 in the first half, and the map looked basically over. Yeah, FURIA did manage to take a few rounds more, they won even the second pistol round, but then kyousuke pulled off a crazy 1v3 pistol clutch after the side swap and just deleted any hopes of a comeback for FURIA. Fallen's team tried to claw back a round or two, but that was it. Falcons instantly closed it out and went to map 2. Honestly, kyousuke delivered the best map of his entire career, and Fallen dropped the worst one he's ever had since CS2 launched. Just to put numbers into perspective, here's how it looks. kyousuke 2.54 with plus 16% swing, while Fallen had 0.27 with negative 11.24 round swing. Absolute night and day. And it was FURIA's map pick. While the second map was way more competitive, FURIA actually started strong. They went up 6-1, although then gave up a small comeback, so the half ended in a tie. After the side switch, the game turned into a pure back and forth. FURIA, though, looked more confident overall. At one moment, kyousuke saved a huge round. Then M0NESY pulled off his own clutch, but it still wasn't enough for Falcons to catch FURIA, because on the other side stood Yekindar in full demon mode. He was just obliterating anything that dared to move. Wow, what a performance. Train was close from the start. Both teams traded rounds and the score lines bounced from 5-3 to 7-3, and then Falcons secured the first half. After the switch, FURIA started grinding their comeback. They won several rounds in a row and forced the OTs. And there it turned into a full deathmatch mode. It was a pleasure to watch, to be honest, because everyone was running, swinging, dry picking, and it was pure chaos and very fun. This instantly forced double overtimes, and that's where FURIA got lucky. In the decisive round, M0NESY missed 3 out of 3 crucial shots, effectively handing FURIA the map. So the next one was Mirage. FURIA was 1 map away from the win, while Falcons still had the chance to come back. Again, the teams went neck and neck, but m0NESY kept punishing every micro mistake Falcons made. Even FURIA's coach started hyping him up in Russian. At one point, he was sitting at 14-1, while FURIA were leading 7-5. But everything changed after halftime. Nico won the pistol round. He clutched a 1v2 with ease, and Falcons began mounting their own comeback. 10-8. But right at that round, the entire final flipped. kyousuke found himself in a 1v4. He had to plant the bomb and take down almost the entire enemy team. But he managed to do it. And you know what? That clutch broke Falcons mentally. FURIA then took 3 in a row, although TaSys answered with 1 round, so we got to 11-11. And hello again, overtimes. Teams kept trading blows. They forced double overtimes yet again. M0NESY saved Falcons with a ridiculous 2v5 clutch, but then m0NESY landed a disgusting wallbang, which put FURIA ahead and sealed the map for them 19-16. So yeah, that's 3 tournament wins in a row for the Brazilian org. In the Opera duel, m0NESY was 3 times better than m0NESY, 12 frags versus 4 in key rounds. Although the MVP went to m0NESY again, his second MVP of the year, and yeah, again without a tournament win. Here's a few more stats. This was the 14th best of 5 final of Fallen's career, and the 14th, his 1 peak consistency. This fall is officially the most successful period of the new FURIA roster. Their average placement is second. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, Falcons were in absolute emotional ruins. Kyousuke posted a photo with a cigarette. m0NESY just spammed 2-2-2-2-2, hinting he's lost 5 finals in 2025 already. The rest of the team also looked crushed. m0NESY also later admitted that Mirage was on him. He had 3 chances to win key clutches and died first all 3 times. While FURIA simply celebrated. m0NESY said it's finally time to rest and thanked his teammates for helping him reach this level, especially Fallen, who mentored him from day one. Fallen said that if m0NESY keeps this up for a full year, he could become one of the best oppers in the world. Meaning m0NESY, Zaivu, and, well, also donk and other players, and everybody else have a new rival on their radar. And then Yekindar dropped a nuke. According to him, Fallen might actually leave the team, and the IGL role could pass to Yekindar himself, even though he admits he's not ready and doesn't really want it yet. Guys, what do you think about the finals and the whole episode? Please tell us in the comments below, because it helps us develop a lot. And yeah, I'm so glad to be back. As you might have guessed, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button to follow our channel and drop by in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss out the latest CS2 news, make sure to hit the notification bell. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.